All right, let's start at the beginning. First one is the King of Pentacles, and this king is upside down. If this is a person, this would be an earth sign. So that is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Doesn't necessarily have to be a man. But usually when the kings come up, they stand for integrity. And this guy is upside down. So, and because he is a pentacle, that's usually physical things. So it does feel like there may be some unwise business opportunities, maybe a little uncertainty. You may be feeling unsafe in some way. Usually when this king turns upside down, that means a little bit of a worry, a little bit of a fear. So you may be worried about maybe family members, or someone may be ill, but it does feel like there's a little fear and a little worry in your space. The Queen of Pentacles is here as well. This may be a woman. Again, that's Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or this may be a person. I don't want to give gender because that is not necessary. This can stand for either male or female. But that Queen of Pentacles, she is about material things. She's about earthly possessions and about being generous. She's a good manager. She's practical and a great advisor. She's also fair with money. So it does look like you may have maybe helping out someone with money, being practical, preparing for something in the future. But it does look like you are setting the stage or setting the area, helping someone set the stage for a very large shift in their life. So someone may be just got a new job. They may, your child may be moving out. You may be having a baby. One of your kids may be having a baby. So this does feel like a very large sweep, a very large life change. So it does feel like you're helping folks set the ground for their success. And that feels like it's happening right now. The Hangman is here. The Hangman is when you look at life completely differently. So you may have been trundling along for 30 years and life was this way and you expected it this way. And all of a sudden an aha moment comes and you flip everything. It's the same life. It's the same characters. It's the same situations, but you look at it a little differently. So it does look like you have opened up your heart. You have opened up your head. And it does look like you have released some preconceived ideas about how life should go, that you're a little bit more open to other people's flow and a little bit more tolerant of how they get from point A to point B. You're a little less constrictive in your thinking and a lot more open to how other people do things for success. Doesn't necessarily mean you're changing your mindset for the way you do things, but it does feel like you have embraced a little more tolerance and looking at doing things a little differently than you had in the past. So the Two of Wands is here, and he's looking at the world, so it does feel like you have broadened your awareness to include the world, that you're not just looking at things from your own backyard, you're looking at the big picture. And it's also feeling like you are either getting ready to take a large trip, planning a large trip, or currently on a large trip. It does feel like it's over the ocean. This key is lighting up for me, for legacy is lighting up for me. So you may be traveling to either a sick family member or a family member that needs your help in some way, or just visiting family. But it does feel like there is a second purpose to it, that is just not entertainment, that there is a purpose for this trip as well. All right, Pisces, what's currently in your space right now is the Eight of Wands. This is one of my favorite cards. It's these great ideas shooting down from the heavens. It also can mean having too many ideas and not enough time. You may have to pick which ones you can fulfill right now, leave the rest for another day. But it does look like all of a sudden that you have this really fertile mind that's coming up with great ideas, new ways to do things. And this has a lot to do with embracing different ways of looking at things. just a different philosophy on life. It does feel like you've lightened up a little bit, and it does feel like you're going with the flow a little more. And so all these great ideas and great ways of doing things that you never even thought of before are kind of landing in your lap. So just pick what's pertinent to you, leave the rest for another day. But it does look like your mind is really, really fertile. And it may include artistic endeavors as well. Painting, redoing your garden. But it does feel like you are committing a little bit more to your simple pleasures in life that give you great joy. So the Page of Wands is here, and Page always are about messages. Wands are about motion, so you may be getting some information, an important message concerning this current situation. It may be about work, it may be a social situation as well, but this may require some action on your part. It does not delineate whether it is positive news or negative news, but it is important news that will ask some motion from you. And it does feel like an immediate type of thing. So you may get a message out of the blue that may require either your participation or for you to go to that situation. But it does look like it's coming up. So don't be surprised if something needs your immediate attention that takes you away from what you're doing right now. The Tower is here. That's lessons through destruction. So if there's something that you know that is kind of nagging at you that you need to change, please do it. Don't ignore it, because the Tower basically kind of says, hey, I gave you 3 or 4 chances and you ignored me. So when you ignore the obvious, when you ignore being in say you're in a volatile relationship, you know it's not healthy, you know it's toxic for both of you. If you do not change it, that is when Spirit comes in and creates something really, really awful. And it's usually right in front of the neighbor, so you cannot escape it. So you have to make those changes. So it looks like you've been getting little snippets of opportunity of change. So please do that. If you know that it is something that you need to do, do not ignore it. So the 6 is here. This is messages from the past. This can be a loved one. This can be a lover. This can be an old friend. This could be high school people. It could be someone that you didn't speak to from the past. It could be a sibling that you haven't really seen in a very long time. But it does look like messages from the past and a possible reunion. So there may be someone very ill in your family. That is bringing people together is what I'm feeling. So this may be getting together for a wedding or a funeral or a birth of a child. This does feel like a very sweeping life change that will bring some people from the past that you haven't seen in a while. Some positive and some to work out some issues. And here are those issues. Here's a 5. You have 2 5s right on top of each other. So it does look like something you cannot ignore. This is at the bottom. So if you need to make some changes, if you're ignoring it, if it is your own health that you're ignoring to help others, that is when we get very, very ill, when we ignore all those messages to take care of ourselves. So it does look like there are some discussions. It does look like there may be some negative interactions. This does feel family oriented. It can be work, but it does feel like someone's trying to engage you in some wishes and desires, and there is a power struggle. It does look like it's amping up, that it hasn't come to its full fruition. It does look like it will come to its full fruition, so it does look like you may need to be a mediator here. It does feel family oriented, I must say. It can be work, but it feels more on the interpersonal, more on the family. And this can be very, very close friends that aren't blood relatives, but you consider family. So it does look like some resolve is needed. It is going to need your participation, and there will be division between one side and the other. So it will need your neutrality and your wisdom to help resolve this. And it is coming up, and it looks like it's coming up quickly. Something that's on the left side here for clarity is the Wheel of Fortune. This is kind of anything's open, anything goes. So if you put positive energy into these things, positive will come out. If it's solely based on the negative focus, negative will come out. But it does look like you have some choices to make it more positive. You can either continue this rift that's been going on for quite a while in the way that it doesn't work, or you can make some positive changes. It will take a little while to kind of instigate it. It will take a little while for it to take hold, but it does look like change is really needed in this dynamic, and some mental acuity. It may involve, I'm feeling that there, if you aren't able to resolve this within yourself, you may have to go it through the legal system as well. But if you can avoid that, it does look like it's avoidable. But it does look like there is huge opposition within this discussion. Page of Pentacles is here. So this may be about money. This may be about family. This may be about illness. Or reallocating money to a project. But the Page of Pentacles is here. This is about messages as well. You have a number of pages here and the Tower. So it does feel like you're getting plenty of warning, Pisces, for this. Do not ignore the writing on the wall. Spirit is telling you very loud and clear. But the Pentacles, it's usually good news regarding money or material goods, worldly ambition. So it does look like there is a resolve in the cards here. So don't give up, but it may take really looking at something completely different to make those changes. So that is your general reading, Pisces. It does look like you have some positive stuff and some work ahead of you as well. So let's throw a couple of these chakra cards for clarity. Oh, all right. That one wants to say complacency. So don't be complicit. This really requires your action. This really requires looking at the writing on the wall and figuring out things that work for everyone, not just you or not just them. This has to be, so put your 2 cents in and allow other people to speak their piece in it as well. So, and we have destiny. So this does look like it was written in the stars. It's something that you are actually really good at being an intermediary and having 2 sides come together to come to an agreement. So it does feel like part of your destiny is to be the neutral party.